You're live?
It might be a simple record, but it was a record that stood untouched for 9 years until last week. Bo Albert comes into the third round of the 2021A Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge season with a perfect record, 2 wins and 2 heat wins to start the season. He tied Elliott Porterfield for the most wins from the beginning of the season when the American from Oklahoma won the first 2 rounds. It was in Croft and in Long Island. Tonight we head back home to Indiana to the Lucas Oil Raceway in Claremont. It's a 0.79 mile layout utilizing the pit lane, the infield, the oval, all of those sections of the 0.696 mile oval, and it looks simple on paper. It's a very tricky beast to tackle. Just ask myself and our producer Victor Vallee, who might have come together a few times here. The main question is, can anyone catch Bo Albert? The Australian has had impeccable luck in the first 2 rounds when his rivals faltered in various ways, but we'll figure it out together over the next hour as, well, my script says Dylan Baadte's next to me. I have no idea where he is. I am Josh Mertz, up here in the commentary box, bringing you live lights to flag coverage in the Automotive Sports Network, along with Victor Vallee in the production truck, as our coverage tonight, presented by Simracer Coin, the cryptocurrency designed by Simracers for Simracers, and our racers will race to own the winner's coin tonight. And we'll go over our format relatively quickly as we are in qualifying here in Indianapolis. We have 21 cars, 4 heats, 6 laps each. We're going to have 1 joker in the top 2 or transfer. The rest of our drivers will go to 2 LCQ races where the remaining drivers compete over 5 laps with 1 joker. The winner transfers, gets a bonus point. And then we hit the final 10 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers. And we all know how crazy turn 1 here at this track. And Mr. Victor Vallee, like I said, I don't know where Dylan Baadte is, but what do you expect tonight?
You know, honestly, it's really hard to say what to expect. Besides the pro drivers like Bo Albert and Connor Parisi dominating like usual. Speaking of that, we do not have Sindre Silva here tonight. I don't believe he is in the session. I think he had some prior commitments to take care of.
No so defending champion, you are correct.
Yeah, so the defending champion of this race too is, I remember correctly. Or was he runner-up to Jake Robertson last year? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can pull the stat book if you give me 2 seconds to see who won last year in Indianapolis. It was Jake... No, it was Jake Robertson, so he did finish
Sindre
second.
Was the runner-up last year in this event. So we don't have the defending champion of this event, and we also don't have the defending runner-up of this event, and also, more importantly, the runner-up of the champion from last year.
As smallest field, I put that in quotes on my notes here, of 21 cars.
22,
in 2021A, we are missing a couple of drivers, previous commitments, but that is all okay. Talked about Bo Albert, 2 race wins in a row. Can he make it 3 and break that record that Elliott Porterfield created 8 years ago? He has a 14-point lead in the Drivers' Championship as well, as we take a look fairly quickly at those points as we are in qualifying. Bo Albert on top with 46 points. Magnus Okenhaug, 32 points, so he's 14 back. Savian Ragster with a 3-point penalty from the shenanigans in Great Britain. He has 29 points. Sindre Silva not here with 28. Ray Kingsbury with 27. Philip Kraus also not here with 23. Jacob Rafos also not here with 20 points. Connor Parisi with 18. Edmondson and Dipple round out our top 10. They are tied on 14 points. The Constructors' Championship coming into Indianapolis as Fox Ed Gaming Spark Last Lap Motorsports 60 points over Last Lap Motorsports with Renovo Racing 37 points. It's a 23-point gap between the 2 Kingsbury squads as the Jim Beaver Esports squad 10 points behind Renovo and Last Lap with 27. LRL with 25. Apex Racing with 10. And iDrive Sim Training has 4 points. I don't know if we have a graphic for it. I don't expect it to. The Manufacturers' Championship, Volkswagen 46, Subaru 40, and Ford with 18. As qualifying wraps up, pole position, Connor Parisi ahead of Bo Albert by less than 1/10 of a second, it looks like. And then John Dipple, but the 0.4 of a second difference between those guys.
Yeah, and obviously since Dylan's not here, I guess I'll do a little bit of color commentary right now for filling in for Dylan. But yeah,
There he goes with that assuming.
say
stuff
actually
like that.
there he
Oh!
is. He's made his way into the booth. I guess he had a key. So
I couldn't
Dylan,
find
Josh,
the hand sanitizer. They wouldn't let me
Yeah.
in.
all right. So I'll let you guys take it away for heat number 1. I'll go ahead and bring up the graphics there for it, and you guys take it away.
On pole position for heat number 1, Connor Parisi in car number 11. Then it's Baadte Cryer in the 05, Jason Hook in the 137 on the front row. Second row, Howell, Crosgrove, Feldman, 6 laps, Joker once here in Indianapolis. And remember, we have to take turns 3 and 4 of the oval. Green flag. Howell got a terrible start. Cryer, actually it was Cryer there in the middle. I apologize there. Parisi out of turn number 4 on the oval leads us ahead of Hook, Cryer, Howell, Crosgrove, and Feldman. Remember, there is a rule that you can take the Joker on the first lap of the race, but there's a gentleman's agreement tonight due to the calamity that we've seen in the last couple of races. Parisi out and away, Hook deep on the brakes in the second corner, trying to take the fight to Parisi as he leads over the jump ahead of Hook, Cryer, Howell, Crosgrove, and Feldman.
Yeah, pretty clean start here tonight. These guys seem to have gotten the jitters from last week out. Everybody seems to have their car in pretty good shape here and just be kind of going at it.
Back onto the oval. Feldman, the inside of Crosgrove off screen, bowls him out of the way as she moves up to the 4th position, it looks like, and Parisi Jokers on the first opportunity. And you'll notice the Joker lap here, not really that big of a delta. We heard Bo Albert last week talk about that. Howell Jokers in the 666 can't come out ahead of Cryer and Feldman, those two teammates battling.
Yeah, and you talk about the delta, Josh. It's not a very big difference if you hit it right. If you don't hit your marks, though, it could be very, very drastic for getting into that next tight corner.
As we've seen so much calamity, not only on iRacing, but when we ran here on NASCAR 2003, I had a very terrible recreation of this track. Fun story on that one. I had to create this track in 30 minutes. And Victor Vallee laughs off air there. I hate breaking down the fourth wall. Sandbox crashed when I was done with the track, and I had to create something in 30 minutes. And it was so bad, we never raced here again until we came on iRacing. So Parisi holds the lead ahead of Hook, Cryer, Howell, Feldman, Crosgrove. That running order has not changed. As he did bring up a good point. Again, I don't know if Victor Vallee is actually muted or unmuted on our stream here, but him and I came together in that hairpin corner. It was so funny because Chris Wetz flipped and still won the race because me and Victor were crashing too much. So cross flags for Parisi. I'll go ahead and I'll shut up for a minute here, Mr. Baadte, so you can go ahead and ramble a little bit.
I don't really have a lot to say. This is an interesting course. You know, this is a little more of an oval compared to some of the tracks that we've been to. Not a lot of elevation change. It's pretty flat. I mean, obviously, other than this giant jump right here in the middle of the pit road. But I'm enjoying this. It's a little bit of a different feel. There's a lot of open, wide asphalt here, and these, NASCAR-style corners. It's definitely a different approach.
As we've talked about last week, because we were in Norway, a purpose-built rallycross track. This is one of those tracks, again, where dirt's on asphalt. So I think the track crew is going to be laying down dirt between the heats and the LCQ in the final. But later on, we'll notice that we're going to get down to this asphalt in that corner. And from my knowledge, from when I ran here, it's hard to do because you'll have one tire on the dirt and one tire on basically asphalt. As we take a look at Baadte Cryer and Andrew Howell, as both of these guys, teammates, I want to say. I say that because they had a last-second team change in the entry list, and they didn't tell me until we went on the air, and I haven't gotten anything edited yet.
Is that a livery change on the 666 this week?
It is.
I was going to say, I don't remember that vibrant, beautiful yellow color last week.
As he was hired by the DGR squad to take the reins of one of their Subarus. I think they're up to about 5 cars now. Good to see for the Australian squad. And that DGR iDrive Sim training team, always prevalent now in the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge. What also is prevalent is Connor Parisi. out of the final corner. He ran a 40.745 last lap, 42 flat for Hook.
And that move we just saw right there, that the way he gets through that really acute angle turn there and puts the car right up against the wall, no slipping, no loss of power. Like, he's perfect on the exit of that corner.
And what's interesting, the car was sputtering as he crossed the line. So real quick fun fact, I know obviously it's 2 weeks ago, so we don't necessarily, it's kind of bad to claim this, but Parisi was getting passed on the front straightaway in Brands Hatch. He ran out of fuel in his heat race, and he didn't bring that up to me until like a week ago, and then I forgot. So that was certainly a thing. But he wins heat one.
These guys might be running their setups a little low to start here, is what you're telling me.
Yes. So ahead of Hook, Cryer, Howell, Crosgrove, Feldman, the remaining running order. We have our points leader, Bo Albert, on the pole position for heat number 2. Magnus Okenhaug for Last Lap Motorsports, Kieran Forrest, then it's Cody Erdman, Tim Brokaw, and we were missing for a moment there, Adam Thomas. So we have another 6-lap race, and we'll have to see if our points leader, as Erdman jumps the start, 2-time series champion. I don't know what's going to happen there. We'll have to look. And Okenhaug gets a better start through the oval, but Albert on the inside, high, wide, and handsome on the outside is Okenhaug. Can he make the run? Forrest is sideways off the corner, and Okenhaug leads. He takes to the... No, he doesn't. He blocks Albert, contacted to turn number 1, and the Australian into the wall. Jokering was Thomas and Forrest to the inside, side by side, into turn number 2. Albert on the back foot. Okenhaug leads Forrest ahead of Albert, Thomas, and Brokaw with Erdman.
All right, so this might be the first time all season that we're going to have to see Albert put on his focus and really grind it out to get himself back into position. He's had it easy all year.
And Adam Thomas there in the 625 nudged him in the final corner. Albert in third, Magnus Okenhaug. What a start from the Norwegian, and we know he has struggled in the last couple of weeks. And Kieran Forrest for the Apex squad, multiple-time race winner is this team, but they don't have their lead guy in Jake Robertson, so Forrest leading the way.
Yeah, and I also take back everything I said about the first heat being so nice and organized on the start. These guys clearly are still capable of some mayhem. It's super exciting for us up here in the booth. It's got to be treacherous and scary for those guys down the track.
And especially under the lights. While it is lit up and while it looks lit up, I can confirm to you that there are not many light poles in that infield turn 2 and 3. Forrest to the inside of Okenhaug, battling for the lead. It's very dark in the infield sector, but it still makes for some fantastic racing, and Kieran Forrest to the lead. But Okenhaug tries the switchback off the final corner. Forrest jokers, Okenhaug does not. Albert does not. Let's see the rotation here. Out of the Joker, Albert to the inside of Okenhaug! Contact between them again, and battling for the lead in heat number 2. Albert to second.
If they had the room, they would have been 3 wide through there, Josh. This is incredible.
And I mentioned in the opener when you had stepped away, it looks simple on paper, but it's certainly a fantastic layout. Albert to second, and Okenhaug not pleased. I know him very well, and when he gets mad, it's not a good idea. Final corner, Forrest leads, Albert leads Okenhaug. Thomas, Brokaw, and Erdman. Albert to the inside. I'm trying to give you a moment to talk, but they keep racing here. Final corner contact.
Oh, they touched.
Gets hit by Albert out of the lead. And Albert, I don't know. Well, we're not here to speculate, but
in my book, that's a racing incident. They were just fighting hard and things happen.
As now Forrest out of a transfer spot got hit by Thomas there in the 625.
No, let's not dwell on the past. This future might get exciting here. This is not over yet, Josh.
And Okenhaug, they came to cross flags, and I tried to give you a moment to speak, but clearly we're having a hell of a battle here in Indianapolis. And it's going to be interesting to see as we ride on board Bo Albert in the 06 for Logitech.
Yeah, Albert got the wall just ever so slightly there coming out, and I really thought that Okenhaug might make a run. As he jokers, though, he's going to close the gap.
He clipped the wall there on the Joker entry, so now we'll have to see if Magnus Okenhaug can keep the pace on Bo Albert. And Tim Brokaw in third, Thomas, Forrest, and Erdman. That's the remaining running order. So if these two up front have an issue, Catbird's seat is Brokaw.
Yeah, 100%. And we've seen already about 3 times in this race, the front two, they're going to make contact when they get up to each other. It's just going to happen.
Coming to the white flag in heat number 2. Albert leads Okenhauge Jokers in the 06. No contest on this rotation, but Okenhauge's going to have a better run. Can he make anything happen? No. Hits the wall in the 26, but it's still a long lap here.
Yeah, I mean, you can make up a lot of time in here through these tight turns on the dirt if you know what you're doing.
So Logitech G Altus Esports ahead of Spark Foxhead Gaming Last Lap Motorsports. We have a Pro World Championship driver ahead of Magnus Okenhaugen, and certainly has the pace to be one. Runs it wide in the final corner, but what a crazy heat race in Indianapolis.
Yeah, this heat race is indicative of what we're going to get to see in the LCQs in the final tonight. This is going to be a hell of a night. Everybody stay tuned. Tell your friends.
Albert and Okenhaug transfer through. Brokaw, Thomas, Forrest, and Erdman will round out our running order. Be sure to join the conversation tonight. Hashtag NASA Rallycross, hashtag ASN TV USA, whether you're on the YouTube or the Twitch page. Certainly some great racing so far tonight. And that's going to give 3 wins in a row in the heat race. And in chat, Bo Albert, sorry, Kieran, I had no more steering lock through there. So interesting. He might have been on the power and just pushed out wide.
Yeah, it looked like maybe those guys were just racing, and Kieran was trying his best to, keep him pinched down to keep him from gaining that momentum. And then, like Bo said, he car stopped steering, nothing you can do.
As once again, tonight's show brought to you by SimRacer Coin, the cryptocurrency designed by sim racers for sim racers. Thank you, voice crack. Cryptocurrency designed by sim racers for sim racers. Our sim racers will race to own the winner's coin tonight. Heat number 3, gridding now. John Dipple on pole position ahead of Ray Kingsbury, Brandon Lambert, Savian Ragster, and Matt Kingsbury. So, it's an LRL, LLM, and Renovo heat race. Green flag.
Nice start by everybody here.
3 wide into the oval. Kingsbury in the middle there. Dipple on the inside. Lambert cuts down from the outside of the middle here. Nearly contact between them. And Kingsbury, Jokers in the 25. The man from Connecticut ahead of the man from Alabama, the inaugural champion, Dipple, the British driver to the inside of Lambert into turn 1. And Ragster battling with Kingsbury. Lambert backs up the second corner. Contact between them. Lambert gets shoved out of the way by Savian Ragster. We know Ragster very aggressive. And over the jump, Kingsbury, Dipple, Ragster, Lambert, and Matt Kingsbury.
Yeah, Ragster definitely going to be taken here. Not that he's aggressive. He knows what he has to do to get himself in position, and he's not going to wait for anybody.
Running it wide was Dipple. Tried to do the undercut on Ray Kingsbury. Couldn't get it done. So, final corner for the first lap. Ray Kingsbury ahead of John Dipple. They are in the transfer spots. You'll notice on our graphic when it updates the little Joker hat. Obviously, when it lights up, they have taken the Joker. Jokering is Dipple. Behind him is Ragster. Ragster can't get anything done there.
All right, so now we have our front 2 have both jokered here. So, be interesting to see how Ragster maintains when he gets to run his.
And remember, off the wall!
Oh, Dipple, no!
Crashing into Ragster and Lambert to second, and Matt Kingsbury slams into the 34.
Oh, not what we wanted to see as Dipple lands a little wide, hits the wall. Is going to take out both of the Beatles, it looks like.
As hopefully we can get a moment to take a look. I'll take a look off screen on my monitor. He gassed it, and he took the jump at an angle with the car pointed left.
Oh, no, Lambert spinning on the Joker.
And Lambert, as we catch up to real time, I'm taking a look at replays here, and you know what this looks like for this heat race transfer spot. Kingsbury versus Ragster. Victor Vallee, if you want to unmute for a moment, looks a lot like the GT Americas battle.
It does.
Yeah. Victor doesn't like you right now.
I was going to say, well, no, I'm... it definitely does look like that a little bit. I think it actually looks like the race we had on NR 2003. It looked like nobody wants second place except for maybe Ragster as he goes to the Joker right now with 3 laps to go.
As cross flags here in Indianapolis, Kingsbury, Ragster, Lambert, Dipple, Kingsbury, our running order. I'll let you focus on the task that you have. And Ragster has jokered, so everyone has taken to the Joker here. And it's like no one wants to be in a transfer spot almost.
Yeah, this has been a wacky little heat here.
It's coming to 2 laps to go. Ray Kingsbury, the one brother that has not won a race in the SimRacer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge. He's certainly gotten close. but it has not happened for him in car number 25. Then we have CB and Ragster, who has certainly improved from his inaugural season last season. Brandon Lambert, the inaugural champion of the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge. On the wins list, he sits 10th with 5 wins. But what's interesting for Lambert, he has not won since 2014. At least I don't believe he has. I'd have to take a look at the stat book here. Dipple, after crashing, and Matt Kingsbury, the winner a couple seasons ago in Wild West. I can confirm that Brandon Lambert's last victory, 2014A Valkenswaard in the Netherlands. So certainly a long time ago. I remember that race because my gearbox broke and I didn't make the final. So that was not a good race for me. I had to sit on the sidelines. Actually, I think I stormed out of my room at that point and I went and probably went to Denny's. But anyways, Ray Kingsbury, Ragster, Lambert, Dipple, Kingsbury. That's our running order. And a very crazy heat race for heat number 2. I don't know if it's been topped for heat 3, but Kingsbury certainly likes this. 3 bonus points and a win, and he will be on the front row in Indianapolis ahead of Ragster, Lambert, Dipple, and Kingsbury.
All right, so we had a clean heat. We had an exciting and wild heat full of racing and aggressive contact, and now we had a slight Twilight Zone heat. So what's next on the agenda, Josh?
You know what? I don't know why it took me this long to realize this. This track was where Wetz and Erdman came together in that Solstice race and started the Twilight Zone.
It all started here.
And we're racing at night.
Yep.
Gridding for heat number 4, Marwan Moftah, Austin Derbyshire, Josh Edmondson, Romain Rateau, Travis Seymour. So 2 race winners in the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge on the first 2 spots of the grid. 6 laps. Joker once. Luckily, I know how to manage my breath, unlike I did in Brands Hatch. We'll have to see what happens here as we go green. Rateau, if he didn't jump the start, that was amazing. The 23 off the line on the inside of Derbyshire and Edmondson. That's contact between them. Sliding was Derbyshire. Sliding is Moftah. Off the final corner, Edmondson into Rateau as Derbyshire and Edmondson out on the spot, essentially. Rateau bumps the 191 out of the way, and they contact in turn 1.
So I guess this is a little bit of everything in this.
Moftah's furious. Not to cut you off there. I don't know if you saw that. He straight lined that corner. He's furious. And Travis Seymour into second. He's going to go to Disneyland if he makes this final.
Okay, what a story it would be.
As I believe, technically, he is an independent driver. He is not racing on the LLM Renovo team. It looks like he is, but he was replaced by Adam Thomas, at least I think according to the statistics, but you know, Matt Kingsbury doesn't let me know of that. Rateau led on the end of the first lap, Seymour, Moftah, Derbyshire, Edmondson, and what a crazy turn, well, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, the oval, whatever you want to call it, as 4 cars ran out of real estate there. So we have had the top 3 jokering. Edmondson has not in the 58, I don't believe, and Derbyshire has not as well. We ride on board Travis Seymour in the 144, getting very close as Marwan Moftah in the 191. Remember, 2-time race winner in the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge. At least I hope I got that number right. 3-time race winner, I stand corrected, in the 191. Derbyshire won in 2019A in Sonoma. He sits in 4th. So the experience here, not sitting in transfer spots. Fairly interesting to talk about there.
Yeah, the whole start of this race pretty much inverted the field from the starting order.
As Moftah, 3 times a race winner in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. As Seymour spins it in the 144. As it looks like he locked up. No, he over-rotated, hit the wall.
Yeah, absolutely not what we want to see. We were all excited to see him having a good run there.
So I actually stand corrected with all those records that I was talking about with Elliott Porterfield. Marwan Moftah actually tied that record as well. He won in Daytona and he won in Phoenix for his first 2 wins in the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge. So he tied that record as well. So there's 3 drivers that have that record, and Moftaw is one of them. His third win was 2019A in Atlanta. Romain Rateau, the Frenchman for Mika Esport. I know there's 2 laps to go, but he has run basically by himself since that chaos in turn 1. Derbyshire and Edmondson were right on board with Edmondson here. They're getting frisky for third. Third means nothing, though, in the eyes of the transfer spots. As Derbyshire...
No, but this is good time to get a little bit of practice in close quarters, because you know you're going to have to work for it in these next few races.
Yeah, the LCQs for sure. 5 laps, I think. Well, 10 cars almost. That's the highest we've seen. Certainly getting close. Romain Rateau, I can't help but really like what he did as a driver, being super aggressive. You both know how aggressive I tend to get, and I loved every minute of it. As the Frenchman, driving car number 23, a good omen for him, Chris Watts. Numerous victories in this series, and he did the whole flip and win thing in his heat race here in 2017B. White flag for the Frenchman. As we look at Rateau over the jump in car number 23. As we take a look at the battle for third, Seymour, Edmondson, Derbyshire over the jump. And what could have been for Travis Seymour, unless something goes wrong. I'm paying attention off screen here to the top 2. They make it through the final corner, okay? Seymour holding off third from Edmondson, but it really doesn't matter because Romain Rateau wins heat number 4 ahead of Moftaw. As Seymour, it looks like they all came together here on the line. No, Derbyshire dove it into the final corner and rolled the 58 of Edmondson. As we take a look here on monitor, you'll notice in the final corner, diving it in was Derbyshire. Tried to get it, hit the curb. It looks like
just made
the curb as well.
Contact at the perfect time while the other car was up off the curbing and just rolled him right over.
As our first consolation race, the C-Main, the LCQ1, whatever you want to call it, we're going to have 7 cars getting ready to take part in this race. Bodie Cryer, Brandon Lambert, Andrew Howell, John Dipple, Cody Crosgrove, Matt Kingsbury, Diane Feldman. And if I am Matt Kingsbury, I am furious because you are in the back of the field for 5 laps and only 1 car transfers.
Yeah, you got the short end of the stick on this draw, and you're going to have to really work. Good luck. Good luck.
As getting ready, we all grid up here. We'll have to look and see. Feldman, we're missing Kingsbury in the 21. There he is. 7 cars, 1 spot, 5 laps. Let me clear my throat here, catch my breath, because this is going to be a very good race. Green flag, Lambert, great start. Side by side for a moment. It was Cryer with Howell, but Howell missed it. High, wide, and handsome on the outside. Lambert tries to take the fight. Diamonds the corner and takes the lead ahead of Cryer. Howell in third. Dipple nearly blocks Kingsbury. Kingsbury takes the Joker on the first opportunity into turn 1. Lambert leads Cryer. Howell, Dipple. Kingsbury sneaks past Dipple and Howell as they battle.
Hey,
and now
props
sets
to
his
Brandon
sights.
Lambert for that start. He got himself in the position.
Into the wall, it's Cryer. Kingsbury!
Oh, no. Big trouble in the back.
And Kingsbury, we were talking him up. And Cryer hits the wall, and he's out of it nearly here in Indianapolis. Back to the point on Lambert, he did have a hell of a start in car number 46.
Yeah, it's just he got himself in position there on the outside, diamond in that corner to be able to clear the inside car, pull down, and get the entry he needed into turn 1 clean with nobody around him. And then you can see how well it's working and paying off for him here.
Jokering is Lambert in the 46. Cryer, Dipple, Howell, Feldman, Crosgrove, Kingsbury in the back. And now we have to focus on these guys. Cryer is trying to take the spot from Lambert. I was trying to look at the lap times to see if Cryer had jokered. He has not. Lambert has. Outside is Dipple. Can he get the run on the outside? No, he can't. The dirt proving too difficult. Into the final corner. Dipple backwards into the corner. Can't make it stick.
Yeah, he actually booted second place into Lambert there a little bit, and I think it almost benefited Lambert with getting out of the corner.
As Bodie Cryer in the 0-5 trying to stalk the 46 of Lambert. He was a second faster than Lambert that last lap around, and we could expect him to do the same. Dipple in the 34, no change up or running order otherwise. Over the jump, coming to 2 laps to go. Can Lambert hold off Cryer? We know Lambert struggles in these regulations. Nothing against him, because all of us original drivers do. There's a reason why I stepped out of the car. Lambert, final corner ahead of Cryer. Cryer tries to take the inside, can't get it done.
Yeah, it's not over yet, though, Josh. He's still got time.
2 laps to go in the C main. Lambert leads Cryer, leads Dipple, Howell, Feldman, Kingsbury. Lambert was a 10th up on Cryer last lap.
But if Cryer can keep it smooth, he's definitely, he missed his mark there a little bit on that exit.
We'll have to pay attention to our Delta with the Joker rotation. Coming to the white flag, Cryer's got to take it if he can get a good run here in the final corner and put the power down in that Subaru. Lambert has a huge gap, but Cryer can really, if he straight lines that Joker and pushes Lambert out wide, we'll have to see under the commitment line into the Joker, very cautious, very slow. That's not going to help him at all, and Lambert holds the lead.
Yeah, I think that might have been everything that Lambert needed there. All he has to do is maintain smooth line.
He lost a half a second over Lambert that last lap. And I think it's been a while since I had mentioned this. Of course, we'll wait for the final corner, but Brandon Lambert leads Cryer, final corner. Both are deep on the brakes. And the inaugural champion of the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge has struggled for a while, but he makes it into the final, finishing 9th, well, seeding 9th, I should say, finishing first in the C main. 11th is Cryer. 13th will be Diane Feldman in the 84. 15th, Andrew Howell. It looks like 17th, Matt Kingsbury. And 19th, Cody Crosgrove. No points for Matt Kingsbury tonight. I didn't expect Matt Kingsbury to not make the final. I can tell us that right now.
Yeah, it's definitely been an odd night for him to be watching him. He's definitely not on the pace. He's normally one of our top guys, one of those guys you look for to really be hanging around and advancing in his first heat, if not the LCQ immediately.
As heat or B main LCQ2, whatever you want to call it, Brokaw, Seymour, Thomas, Derbyshire, Kieran Forrest, Edmondson, and Erdman. Look for Kieran Forrest to want redemption after what happened.
We got a roller on the grid there.
Green flag. We'll have to look if there's any penalties. Brokaw, Seymour, Thomas, 3 wide. Brokaw on the inside has to back out to make the corner. Pushes out wide into Seymour. Sliding is the 111.
It's Seymour with the power move in the middle lane to the front.
And Forrest to the inside of Seymour. Tries to make it happen. Derbyshire bowls Brokaw out of the way. And to the lead goes Forrest in the 44.
And what a move by Forrest. Super
Derbyshire
aggressive,
pushes
super
Seymour
clean.
out. As this race is getting crazy for second, but it's not the race that you want a crazy race for second because only the winner transfers.
On the landing.
Thomas battling with Edmondson, battling with Brokaw. 3 wide into the final corner for a moment. Brokaw pushes Thomas out wide in the 625.
Just like that, Edmondson right back in this thing. What a move.
As Forrest leads Derbyshire, Edmondson, Thomas, Erdman, Brokaw, and Seymour, and Kieran Forrest loves this opportunity.
And I believe Edmondson just straight lined the Joker there as best it could.
As remember, you have to be under that commitment line into the Joker lane. A couple of the tracks do have that. This track and Daytona, to name a few. As Edmondson is in third, but he's got a bunch of ground to make up on Kieran Forrest here. And that is a good point. We were listening to the director, Victor Vallee. Derbyshire was the one that rolled Edmondson. So I don't know if a transfer spot is really on the cards for him. But if I was him, I'd really get revenge on the 64. 3 laps to go, for Kieran Forrest in the 44. We'll see if Apex Racing can make an appearance in the final once again. But he was half down on Derbyshire. Derbyshire gained some time there. He already took the Joker on the first lap of the race. We'll have to see. He's gaining ground. So is Edmondson. To the inside. Where's Forrest? Forrest way out wide.
Oh, no. Did Forrest forget the track?
No, guys. If I look and see, he had a handbrake issue in the 44. He had that issue in his heat race, and that's why he straight lines the corner.
He pulled the brake and it never registered.
Or it's stuck.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
2 laps
Just like
to go.
that, Edmondson now can get revenge and get into the race. Oh, man, and Derbyshire into the wall. Here he comes.
Over the jump, coming to the white flag. Derbyshire versus Edmondson. The 64 versus
Edmondson
the
is
58.
moving around this corner. He has closed the gap.
We will see in the last lap what will happen here in Indianapolis. If we look at the lap times, both have jokered, and Kieran Forrest in the back of the field. There's no way anything will happen here. White flag for Derbyshire.
It's
Can
all
he
about who
hold off
wants it
Edmondson?
more.
Will we see round number 2 in the final corner? It's going to be me versus Wetz all over again. Derbyshire pushes out wide, hits the wall. Over the jump for the final time. On board Edmondson in the 58. Into the sweeper. Edmondson into the wall. Pushes onto the asphalt. Dare I say it, it might help him. Into the final corner. He's going to have to send it. I don't think it's going to get done.
You got to
The final
respect it.
is going to be crazy. Derbyshire wins. I'll let you guys finish in a second. Edmondson 12th, 14th Thomas, 16th Erdman, 18th Brokaw, 20th Forrest, 21st Seymour. Continue, gentlemen. What a race.
God, no, what a race. I just wanted to say props to Edmondson. He had an opportunity there where he could have exacted his revenge in that final corner, but it would have been a bad look for everybody involved. And just props to the real racer in him for not doing the dumb there and just taking it. That was awesome to see.
Absolutely. I guess I'll go ahead and step in here in place of Josh for a little bit, give him a little bit of a break.
Let that boy breathe. He doesn't do it enough.
Let him rest his chops a little bit. We know he has jaws, so let's give him a moment to breathe. With that said, however, Dylan, you've been here for the whole thing, as have I. I've been in the production truck, doing my best with the camera work, as always.
Excellent, as always, Victor.
I do appreciate that. But, we do have a race to talk about for sure here, and I believe we do have our final set at this point. Mafta, Ray Kingsbury, Connor Parisi, and I believe as well Bo Albert, a couple of the highlight drivers of the 10 that will be starting tonight's event.
Yeah, from what I've seen, if we're gonna make picks real quick, Victor, I'm gonna say I'm not picking Albert because that seems like a cheap pick to me because we all know he's good and he's probably the favorite here. But I'm going with Parisi, man. Like I said, the last hairpin coming back onto the oval 3 and 4, he's just got something there. He's smoother than I've seen a lot of these guys be all night, and I think that's gonna play as long as he stays clean in the opening and is near the front. I think he'll be a guy that's up there.
Absolutely. As we're watching Parisi here, he actually hits the brakes right there. I think that's what he's doing, is he's setting the nose so he can kind of diamond the corner off, and it actually is a very smart move by the iRacing Rallycross World Championship driver. He was the fastest driver last week at Hell, but had computer issues, which took him out of the main event last week, but now back for redemption. I think he has something to prove, and he definitely wants to get another win in the NASA Rallycross Challenge here.
Yeah, and a win would patch up the old broken heart from the the fallout last week and all the points that were missed out on.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely an opportunity with tonight for him to come back, make a statement, and let everybody know, oh yeah, I missed one, but I'm still in this thing, guys.
Absolutely. A couple of the guys who made it in through the last chance qualifiers, Brandon Lambert, you see him there, and then Austin Derbyshire, another driver who made it in through the second LCQ tonight, of course, winning it because that's the only position that transfers from the LCQs.
Yeah, we like winners. We're a lot like Chip Ganassi over here.
Absolutely.
And we like
Yossi
winners.
Hughes. We should just call them the Chip Ganassi qualifiers. You got to win to be in them.
Hey, there you go. I'm all for it. We'll have to give Chip a call and see if he's all right with us using his name.
Absolutely. Maybe we can get him on board. Maybe we can get a couple of his Chip Ganassi racing drivers.
Get old Scott Dixon out here. Show us how it's done.
And maybe
Burt
Kurt Busch. Yeah, get Kurt Busch out here, and maybe even Kevin Magnussen. Who knows?
Hey, they got that Ross boy and his watermelons could have a lot of fun over here too.
We also got 7-time Jimmy Johnson, Chip
Oh
Ganassi
yeah,
driver.
forget about the IndyCar stable has old 7-time now.
But anyway, speaking of winners, Bo Albert.
Here's a couple of them right
there
here.
There you go. There's 2 winners right there. Heat winners. Bo Albert and Connor Parisi. And I think those are the 2 guys you want to keep an eye on for sure.
But you see what I'm talking about right there, Victor? Is like right out of that hairpin. Parisi is gapping Albert.
Absolutely.
And that's hard to do.
Absolutely. And one more driver to keep an eye on tonight. Currently 3rd in warm-up. This guy right here, Magnus Okanagan.
Yeah, definitely a little redemption for him. He had a little bit of an issue in the first race. It took himself from leading to being back in 2nd or 3rd there. Or did he end up winning his, didn't he?
I believe he did.
I think yes, he did. But he did get shuffled around a lot in his race there. So
he absolutely did
we
get
know
shuffled
he's
around.
fast. We know he can move. He's not stuck in a position just because he's not in the front.
Right now, he is the only other driver besides the 2 pros in the 42nd bracket right now. Then it's
that's
Savion
because
Raxton.
we all know that Magnus is it's a matter of time for him.
I think if he absolutely could be a pro if he dedicated the time to it.
Yeah, if he really wanted to do it, it wouldn't take long.
Yeah, absolutely. And another driver out there on track right now, Savion Raxter, as he's actually going to slide here. Thank you for that, Savion. Hopefully you're watching the broadcast.
We were
and just
talking
saw
about
that.
him.
But he is the 4th fastest driver, and somebody that I'd also keep an eye on here, Roman Rateau. Very good start in his heat event, I believe it was. And he was able to get out front and win his heat. In the number 23.
One of those guys kind of started in the middle of the pack, got to the bottom, and powered his way up to the front few.
Absolutely.
The first set of corners. And I mean, you gotta, not to be, I don't know, excuse my French or whatever, but you gotta have some balls here to set yourself up early, or you're not gonna really have a chance.
Absolutely, gotta have the cojones. Speaking of cojones, we're gonna bring back in Josh. I know he has a good set of cojones on him. So, Josh, take it back away here, man.
I have no comment for that.
Let's not.
Let's never do that again.
Here
we go.
Yeah, let's not.
Up here in
On a live
Indianapolis.
stream. Well, I mean, I did write the ASN website to have no scripts, no gimmicks, nothing like that. So sit on your couch, have a beer, whatever you want to do. Welcome to the 3rd round of the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge, round number 179 in the championship's history. And our grid looks like this. Connor Parisi, Bo Albert, Ray Kingsbury front row. 2nd row, Romain Rateau, Jason Hook, Magnus Okanagan. Then it is Savion Raxter, Marwan Moftah, Lambert, and Derbyshire. Can Albert break the stranglehold that Moftah himself and Porterfield have on the wins from the first round of the season? He starts to eat forward there in the 06 green flag. I'll have to see if that's a jump start. Parisi and Albert side by side, 3 wide. Rateau with Okanagan in the back of the shot with Hook. They're 4 wide. Exiting the final corner, Kingsbury gets hooked by Hook. After that, Rateau into the wall off of Okanagan. Jokering in the first opportunity is only Savion Raxter in the 91. Hook hits Kingsbury.
Big trouble in the back.
And Rateau and Parisi into the wall as Kingsbury gets hit again. That happened to him once before by a guy that might be talking right now, but let's not talk about that. Albert, Parisi, Okanagan, Raxter, Rateau, Derbyshire, Moftah, Lambert, Kingsbury, Hook the running order. Really quick fact, Forrest did jump the start. It was not a handbrake issue. That's why he had that problem. And we'll have to look and see, did Albert jump the start? He started to creep forward, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the other jumps, everybody's gotten stopped before the field is gone, and Albert looked like he might have still been rolling when everybody else started, and if so, that might be the difference.
No black flag for the 06. We'll have to wait and see throughout this field, throughout this race to see. Rateau holds 4th ahead of Derbyshire, ahead of Raxter, ahead of Moftah and Lambert in the 46. Kingsbury fuming in the 25.
Here we go. Let's keep an eye on the front here. We're coming into the spot where Parisi's been faster than Albert, and he's all over the bumper here. Let's see if he can do anything with him.
So much grip through the sweeper into the final corner. Pushing a little bit wide is Albert in the 06. Parisi puts the power down in that Jim Beaver Esports Fistful of Bourbon Subaru. But
Didn't
the
quite
Logitech-
have the line to the wall to get as wide as he needed, but maintains the gap. Didn't really lose any time either.
The Logitech G Altus Esports driver Bo Albert was a 10th down on Parisi last lap. We take a look off camera here. Rateau Jokers into, looks like Derbyshire. They came together. Derbyshire comes out into Savian Ragster. And what a cluster for 4th position here in Indianapolis. Side by side over the jump. Derbyshire with Moftaw. Derbyshire had to stay off of Ragster there. We go back to the front of the field here, gentlemen. Side by side, Albert and Parisi through the oval. Albert switchback, tries to take the spot. Parisi to the lead. He jokers in the 11. We'll take a look at the rotation here into the first corner. When you joker, it really hurts the car on the outside, and Albert's line compromised. What a race so far here in Indianapolis, Dylan. And I know, Victor, you're muted, but you have to think that this race is only getting better as we get to halfway on board Parisi.
That's the best part. We've been watching these heats all night. They've been 6 laps, and I'm feeling like we're getting close to the end. We're just getting started, Josh.
Final corner, once again, we look at the gap that Parisi can pull into the
no.
And on the wall is the 23, the Frenchman, trying to get off into the light post there, and turtled in the 23 and out of the final here in Indianapolis. What a shame for the Frenchman in the Mika Esport Ford Fiesta. He had such pace in his heat race, but it's all for naught. Magnus Okenhaug in the 3rd spot. Derbyshire and Ragster battling for 4th still. And this battle throughout the field is still raging on with Moftaw, Lambert, Hook, and everybody else side by side. Derbyshire with Ragster. Derbyshire on the outside really made a good move there on Ragster in the 91. Parisi jokers again here, gentlemen. If I look at our lap times, Parisi's jokered once. Albert has not jokered. Now, this is interesting because this joker's not dirt like the other ones were. So it's not like you have to wait for the track to get cleaned off like Albert did. I think he's just trying to hold Parisi in his sights. But Connor was half a second up last lap.
Yeah, like I said, I've been seeing this right here, this corner. Watch what happens here. Whoa!
Rateau
merging back onto the track gave me a bit of a heart attack there.
out of the pit lane. I think he's going to get the blue flags for staying in the way, but oh, we'll see. He's behind them both. I'm just blind. But
Yeah, it's okay,
Rateau,
Josh. Too much talking, not enough watching.
well, I actually don't have my glasses on, so that's probably why. Rateau, I don't know what the stewards are going to do, because honestly, we've never had this instance where there's a car on pace off the lead lap. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they want him close to these leaders as we come to 3 laps to go.
I think he's going to get lucky enough. He's not really gaining on these guys in a way that I think he's going to affect the outcome here.
Will we see, dare I say it, I'm thinking that Bo Albert's going to joker on the last 2 laps, because just like Parisi did, when you hold that inside, that's exactly what's going to happen. When you hold the inside, you can compromise a guy's lap. So he's hoping he can close the gap here and take the spot on the joker rotation. And I'm not saying that either of these guys aren't talented. Clearly, they're more talented than me, and they know something that we don't potentially. Well, kind of that we know, is that the only real spot that you can pass is in the joker rotation. Battle is Derbyshire and Ragster. These guys still battling.
Yeah, by battling, we do mean shoving each other on and off track whenever the opportunity presents. This is some aggressive but fun racing to watch here tonight.
As Ray Kingsbury getting close to the top half of the field. 2 laps to go for Parisi. Albert jokers on the first opportunity in the 06. Can he make anything happen? No.
Looked like he got a little tight there and had to lock it down a little more than he wanted to and almost got the outside wall. That might have affected him.
Parisi was 3/10 up that last lap. Okenhaug very quiet in 3rd. The battle has cooled down. Ragster 4th, 5th Kingsbury, 6th Derbyshire, 7th Hook, 8th Lambert, 9th Moftaw, 10th Romain Rateau. The gap at the line, the last lap, was 9/10 of a second. We'll have to see what the delta is, but the delta for the Jokers around 2/10. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll have to see. White flag for Connor Parisi. Jokering was Albert, couldn't make anything happen, and Parisi will try and make it a hat trick here in Indianapolis. Over the jump for the final time, the American, the original World Championship driver to race in this championship. Final corner, and Bo Albert's going to have nothing for him. Off of the final corner, he is 7th all-time on the wins list by himself now. The tie with Dylan Smith is broken, and the record stands. Parisi wins in Indianapolis, and Albert cannot make it 3 in a row from the beginning of the season. Ragster and Kingsbury battling for 4th.
What an exit of the corner by Ragster, as he's just going to leave Kingsbury in the dust. He is gone.
Ragster 4th, Oakenhaug finished 3rd, Kingsbury 5th, 6th, Derbyshire, 7th, Hook, 8th, Moftaw, 9th, Lambert, and 10th, Romain Rateau, as Parisi burns it down in car number 11 for his 8th win in the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge. As Jim Beaver Esports becomes the newest team in the series to win.
Full of bourbon with the dub, finally bringing them to victory lane.
And if I look at my count here, Vujan Racing, when he ran for them, has 9 wins, and he makes another team on the wins list as Parisi in Indianapolis, victorious.
And what a night, guys. Awesome. Exciting. Like I said, this track's a little bit different. Didn't really know what we were going to get coming in, but what a night we got from one of the most unexpected places.
So we will go ahead and move our top 3 to the media pen. And we'll bring in Victor Vallee here to assist with those interviews, as it looks as though Bo Albert did get a jump start, gentlemen. So he did not finish 2nd. He finished 3rd.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
I hope that was intentional.
Obviously, Josh, I'm not you over here.
Thank you.
I don't talk so much that there's no oxygen getting to my brain.
So we are going to have to... Oakenhaug is streaming on Discord, so he's not going to like me at the current moment. But
all right.
We're going to bring in Mr. Victor Vallee. Dylan Baadte will bring in our 3rd place man, and I think tentative points leader, Bo Albert. Take it away.
So Dylan, you can go ahead and take this one. As Bo Albert finishing 3rd, actually finished 2nd on the track, but due to a penalty, finishes 3rd tonight, I believe. So Dylan, it's all yours.
Yeah. First off, excellent as always, Bo. Fantastic drive tonight. Really unfortunate there. The rolling start kind of got you there. Whatever the penalty is. But what a show. Thanks for coming out and making it exciting again. Can you just walk us through kind of that battle there with Parisi towards the end of that race and what you guys were thinking, and maybe if you thought you had something for him?
I'm gonna let you guys down a little bit here, but there wasn't much of a battle, unfortunately. I knew I had the battle. I knew I had the penalty hanging over my head, which was 12 seconds, so quite a large penalty. So I didn't want to fight Connor all too hard. But even if I could have fought without a penalty today, I don't think I had anything for Connor. His car was hooked up. He was driving perfectly. He was putting the car in all the right spots. So did I have anything for Connor? I really don't believe so today. He did brilliantly, and full credit to him on the win tonight.
Right, well, I can't fault you for being honest, man. We always appreciate that. And yeah, it just seemed like he had something coming out of that hairpin under the oval 3 and 4 that the rest of you guys just didn't tonight. Whenever he had the line and could get it out to the wall, man, he was gone.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think in terms of setup, I got my differential settings quite wrong tonight. Even coming out of the oval section to the start-finish line, my car was understeering quite a lot more than some other competitors I was watching as well. So, again, that's my fault. No one sets the car up by me, so I can only pin that blame on myself. But, yeah, whatever those Jim Beaver Esports guys did to the Subaru tonight, they did fantastic. It was hooked up, and yeah, like I said, I don't think I had anything for them.
Well, we're glad that you were here and a part of it anyway. Super exciting for those guys, like you said. Awesome to see them finally get one. But we'll be excited to see you come out and get some redemption for the penalty this week. Maybe you guys can put on a real show for us next week, and we can see how it would really turn out.
Yeah, no, that's the plan. Of course, me and Connor got robbed of a battle, at Hell, obviously with his disconnect, and I think tonight we got robbed of a battle as well. So me and Connor, we're very close on pace. We can definitely, fight against one another. We just haven't quite got there yet. So hopefully round number 4, that's the round where we can put on a good show for you guys and get everyone on their feet.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, man. And I know good luck and in all your endeavors until next week, and we'll see you then, Bo.
And actually, I actually do have to jump in real quick, Bo, and ask you a question, because next week is Crandon. Have you ever driven a Rallycross car at Crandon?
I've driven a pro truck at Crandon, but I've never driven a Rallycross car. But from all the comments I've heard, I can't say it on the broadcast because I can tell you there's a lot of swears and everything about just how amazing it is. It is apparently one of the best combos you can ever drive. So motivation is very high for next week.
Absolutely high. Bo, thanks once again for being here tonight, and we'll go ahead and let you go and bring in Magnus Oakenhog in just a moment. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop down Oakenhog here, and I'll go ahead and do Magnus's interview here. So Dylan, you can have a break for just one moment here. So go ahead and bring him in now. Magnus Oakenhog, P2 tonight. Go ahead and tell us about your night a little bit.
My night, for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Track P3, like after getting promoted to P2 due to Bao having a penalty, it feels like a win because this has never been a track for me. Like I've never been on the podium in earlier seasons here, so I take whatever I get. If I get on the podium, I take it.
Yeah, absolutely an important podium here tonight. And with that said, did you know that Bo had that penalty, or were you just pushing as hard as you could trying to catch those top 2?
I was not aware at all because I couldn't see what was happening ahead of me on the start line, so I was just keep pushing and keeping consistent. And I was surprised myself when I looked in the results when I crossed the finish line.
Yeah, I think we were just as surprised. And finally, one last question before we let you go, because we do know you have some commitments to the admin tent and the review process for tonight. That start, and say, I know, as you're saying, you were pretty trapped pretty far back there. How'd you make it through? Just, was it just one of those things where you just kind of found your way through all the chaos and just made it through?
Yeah, it's a bit about being smart, I guess, on the start. Like you have to be a bit cautious so you don't wreck yourself on the first lap, and then just go for there and then take advantage of all the drivers' mistakes, and then just go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. You did a great job capitalizing on others' mistakes tonight. So P2
awesome,
for you.
Awesome run, Magnus.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and let you go back to your admin duties. And once again, thank you for coming out and racing with us here in the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge.
Thank you very much.
All right, and last but not least,
Victor, I love to hear what he said there about how this isn't his best track and ended up on the podium. He's so excited. It's like a win to him. And we talked about that. This isn't a Rallycross track that's designed or even fits the mold for Rallycross. We just kind of threw some dirt down and sent these boys out there.
Yeah, it was kind of like a Mickey Mouse kind of course. It's the best way I can describe it. And finally, let's
just making it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not waste any more time here. We're going to go ahead and let Dylan interview Connor Parisi here, your winner for tonight.
Oh, man. The guy that everybody is talking about now. Connor, you got me, bud?
Yes, sir.
Man, what a race tonight. You had that thing hooked up and coming off the infield onto Oval 3 and 4 better than anybody. And by a lot, man. Like, you were eating these guys alive. What's the secret, man?
Well, I can't give out the secrets, and I don't.
Hey, good answer. Good answer. No, but seriously, that with Bo, he had the little start penalty there, obviously. He said he feels like we've been robbed 2 weeks in a row now of getting you guys to actually have a good battle. So you think maybe next week we can put on a show for these people?
Yeah, I hope so. It's always good racing with Bo. He's clean and fast, so it's good to rub doors with him. So hopefully, I don't know how many rounds we got left, 5 or 6. So hopefully the rest of them are lightning.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get if we can get you guys together and no issues and have some more racing like this, and it's just gonna get even better for these fans that are watching. It was tonight, a little different for us. Not really a purpose-built Rallycross track. Something just kind of like Victor said, kind of a Mickey Mouse deal, kind of thrown together, making it work with what we got. But like have you had a lot of practice here that you knew what you were doing coming in? Because like I feel like some of these guys maybe weren't used to this track and this kind of configuration.
Yeah, I have quite a few laps here, you could say, over the years. Me and Bo and Sindre, when he shows up, have a bit of a advantage just because of how many laps we have to run for the World Championship. So I think that's where you guys are seeing the pace difference between us and the rest of the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, that would make a lot of sense. You guys are obviously have a much bigger goal than just some of the guys that show up here to run with us in the Rallycross Challenge. So obviously there's a lot more seat time involved. That would do it, I would think. Victor, you got anything here that you want to talk to Connor about from tonight? Oh, and we do have a fun fact. Yeah. I don't know how many people have done it here. Josh would probably have the answer because he's an encyclopedia. But you've now won for multiple teams in the NASA Rallycross Challenge.
Well, multiple name teams, but you could trace the lineage. It's all really one team.
You weren't supposed to tell him that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
It broke my heart.
Yeah.
I was so excited. Broke my heart.
Yeah, so with that said, obviously it's two different teams, but at the same time, it is, but it isn't. So that definitely is a fun fact. And with that said, speaking of teams, who do you have to thank for tonight's performance?
I gotta thank the whole crew at Jim B. Resports. Josh has been working hard to get up to speed in these RX cars. I know Cam's itching to get into these as well. We have a big truck race tomorrow, so after that's done, I think Cam will start showing up to these, hopefully. We got to thank Fistful of Bourbon. Winners get whiskey, so I'm going to go crack one open.
Oh, don't tell me that. I might have to join you. Oh, God. We might have a moment.
Guys.
Absolutely. So thanks so much for joining us here tonight in the Simracer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge. Thanks so much once again for racing, and congratulations.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, and that was Connor Parisi. Josh, I honestly... This was our second night race here in Lucas Oil. And we saw the fireworks at the end of the race, and we saw them all throughout the night.
That's, I think Iowa and Lucas Oil are just going to become the de facto night races. Because it just, these cars under the lights, something about them is absolutely amazing. I'll let you guys...
the cars know. They know.
I'll let you guys have your final thoughts. I'll do mine. We'll wrap it up. Victor, you first.
Absolutely. Last week, we thought we were going to see Connor Parisi come back and win. Unfortunately for him, he had some computer issues, but he was able to come back tonight and get the dub. And honestly, that's just a great storyline overall. Okanagan second after an Albert penalty. Just the podium, incredible. This final feature event, incredible, but the entire night was incredible. And Dylan, I think you can back up what I just said there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Indianapolis, the city and the name in the racing community carries a lot of weight. Everybody knows what this place is. It's legendary. And we might not be at the big track. We might not have the start-finish line made out of bricks, but there was a vibe in the air tonight. And these guys came out and they put on guys and girls, came out and put on a hell of a show. And I think it certainly lived up to the name tonight, and I'm excited for next week for sure.
As next week, we head to Crandon International Raceway in Wisconsin to begin the Endurance Cup, the long-standing tracks that don't have a joker and aren't designed typically for Rallycross, but we go to Wisconsin, then we go to Wild West, and those two tracks we saw last season, absolutely impeccable racing. From all of us here at the Automotive Sports Network, from Victor Vallee in the production truck, Dylan Baadte, myself, I am Josh Mertz, Chad Irvine, who took the night off tonight. Hope you had a great night at your home track watching this event. This track, it gets better and better, and I wish I had a unique thing to say every single time we race, but I don't. All I can tell you is the racing is outstanding. Join us next week in Crandon, and also tomorrow from Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for the NASA GT Americas. You'll join Chad Irvine and Victor Vallee for that race. But from all of us here at ASN, for NASA, Rallycross at least, we'll see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow for GT Americas. Until then, so long, everyone.